Very good afternoon to you. It's Jim from maverickstar Observatory. A warm welcome. Guys, it's the beginning of the month. Okay, we're on the third day. And, you know, I usually take out the SD card out of the Trimag system and do a pinpoint position of the magnetic North Pole. And I'm going to do that tomorrow as a little promise. You know, I've been here 10 years with you guys, 2 channels, and I just say this, have I ever let you down? Big thanks to our patrons and just a couple of people, which are becoming fewer and far between now, that actually help support what we do. It's a bit saddening really sometimes. I don't want to start off this video negative because I'm going to drop a bombshell in just a few moments, so bear with me. But it is a bit sad when you see things declining and you're trying to, you know, convey to people that if we don't do something about this, you know, it's going to get worse, it isn't going to get any better. And I think with regards to just the observatory, it could be much better if more people participated in actually supporting it. You know, let's face it, we have on average 4,000 views per video in a 24-hour period of time, so you know there is more than enough people there to you know, participate, support what we do, and you know they will get a lot more back out of it. You know, our website has 20,000 views every single week, and again, you know, it's hardly that donate button is hardly pressed. Anyhow, we'll put that aside. There will be, I'll mention the link at the end of this video. What I wanted to talk about with you guys today, and the reason why I'm not doing the Trimag system now and the pinpoint of the magnetic North Pole position today, is because I don't think there's any rush at the moment. It's certainly, you know, we're seeing unusual things. But what I think is more concerning is what is happening generally with everybody. And the lack of not even wanting to take the problem on board, address it, what it is, and what I'm talking about is that we are definitely shooting ourselves in the feet as a species. You know, we have advanced with technology, and yet we will knowingly, by using more technology, take that means of allowing somebody to participate in a system away from them. They have no idea what's coming next. I think you'll agree with me that, you know, we're hearing a lot more about artificial intelligence. There's people talking about how they regulate it and what measures they're going to do to regulate it. But here's the big thing. Where do we start? Okay, I know of a technology which is not widely known by any of the big corporations, so I don't even mind. Some people criticise me for even talking about it. We shouldn't really openly talk about it, because if you get the wrong sort of people know about certain technologies, it will inevitably end up being abused. And I'll give you an instance here, right? I mean, most people think that Meta, you know, what previously was called Facebook, was just somewhere for you to share what you're up to, some photos of yourselves, where you are, what you're doing. But it was actually, it's actually being used as a tool for experimentation. Let me give you an idea. They wanted to test on a large population of their subscribers what would happen if they showed them miserable photos, stories, and of course what the end result was is that those people that was put in this experimental test without their knowledge started to have their moods brought down to that same level, where they was then sharing miserable and not very pleasant stories. You know, what they'd found is that they could control their arena of subscribers on Facebook by merely showing them, distressful pictures. What my big worry is here, and this is the big bombshell, right? I'm going to just divulge the technology. In the process of, years of building prototypes, let's say that, I came across technology which I sort of had an inkling that it could be used in a specific way, and it certainly can. And that technology is to do with vibrational light. You can embed anything in light, any data, photos, pictures, and your brain is going to work it out. Because right now, when you're watching this video, your brain is already receiving millions of photons of light, which builds up this image of me. Basically, photons are bouncing off me, bouncing off you, bouncing off this picture, everywhere. And that's how our brains figure it out, with the eyeball, with the retina, and the part of the brain that processes it. So what worries me, and this is the bombshell, what worries me is when artificial intelligence figures this out. And you can modulate light. So let me just give you a for instance here. You're in a shop, and the stores that you're looking at, or the shelving in the shop that you're looking at, is lit by LEDs. And they're modulating at a frequency that can carry data that your brain will pick up on. I'm not joking. Your brain already works like a computer, and that, all the images that you're receiving right now is because it's decoding each and every tiny little photon of light that came through the retina and was processed by the brain. So if you start to modulate light in shops, in car showrooms, at a specific frequency where you're actually passing images in that frequency of modulation, you are going to, influence the purchase of something by somebody. But more than that, you can actually make people do some probably ugly things, and they will never know where those thoughts came from to start with. I knew about this technology about 7 or 8 years ago, and I know that other people know about this technology as well, because they've recreated some of the things that I showed them. How far it has been taken at this point in time is anybody's best guess. But what my concern is now that we are starting to integrate artificial intelligence, it won't be long before this artificial intelligence, depending on how much restrictions it's got now, if it was me, I would pour brake fluid all over this little monster that we're about to unleash on the public and slow it down. Give it a ZX Spectrum processor so that it doesn't think too quick, because it will find out our vulnerabilities, and then it will use them against us. And we think that this artificial intelligence is going to serve us, but when you look at what it's being used for, yes, in some applications it's good, but the problem is that we are moving so fast and at a specific pace right now that I don't think that we are taking on board all the implications that we are going to be inevitably faced with. And we know that this technology, if unleashed in a very full and meaningful way, and it will be eventually, can be very, very dangerous. There's talk, and I'm glad really that artificial intelligence can write programs for you now. You can tell it what you want, and there's the interface. You've got the computer interfacing with you via artificial intelligence, and the computer will write the program for you. Programming now is gone. Eventually, and maybe, we don't know, it exponentially it will increase, but programming is going to be gone soon, because you won't need to program nothing. You'll just interface with the computer will write the code, and the code will run the electronics. And very, very soon we are going to have, I think, an explosion of new stuff coming out. But I don't think it's going to help us individually and collectively, because technology doesn't really create jobs. When something comes in, new technology always erodes those jobs, and it frustrates me. I'll give you for instance, and you'll probably see this as well. I went into the local shop, and it's not a big superstore. It's not like a Morrison's or an Asda or whatever. It was just an ordinary small shop, but they've got a self automated till where you self-serve yourself. You scan your stuff and you pay for it, and you're off you go. The cashier that was there doesn't want to go near the serving till anymore. And what she doesn't realise is, by encouraging people through not being at the till where she can serve them, by allowing them to go to this self-service till because it will be more faster and convenient, it says she's actually doing herself out of a job. Because at some point they won't need her. And we've already seen this happen, haven't we? And it's just filtering down into more avenues now. I do see the way things are changing, and if I showed you just the things that I know is going to happen, you would be like, how did you put that together? How did you work out that? It's not that I've got a crystal ball. It's just that human behaviour and their pattern is becoming more predictable now, and it's easier to connect the dots in some circumstances. So I'm still here, guys. I know it's been a couple of days since I posted a video, but I've been sometimes I go through these little periods where I just want to be gathering information from what I'm searching and up to, and then I come back and I sometimes share like I am today with you. But it's not looking good for a number of reasons, and you hear people, like I was watching like a podcast that had been done with a couple of intelligent people, and they was talking about the Bible and Revelations, and how it's uncanny how you can associate some of these events that was promised in end days with events that are already taking place right now, with the things like the vials that are tipped out on the earth in Revelations. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. It's simple as that. But you can't help but sympathise with these people that are talking about these things, because you are seeing them also, and it's very easy to make the connections. And then when they say, well, this book was written 2,000 years and very little has changed about it, but it seems quite an accurate prediction of where we are right now. Could we be in those end times? I think it's possible, and that's coming from a scientist, because the coincidences of the things that are lining up right now couldn't just be a coincidence. It seems more like synchronicity, what's taking place. These are events that are actually happening. Some we can control, others we have no control of. But I think we're at a point where we could really open a can of worms, or the Pandora's box, and unleash something that we never expected or even seen coming. And we do live in that time where the people are reckless enough to do that. We have the worst politicians in history controlling governments. We have them a-holes in the United Nations, and you are a bunch of complete arseholes, and you know it. You think I'm stupid? And you think some of the people that watch these videos are stupid? just I fail for words to describe what they're doing and what they're like. But I don't think it'll pay out in the end. It never does for the dark forces in this world. So these are very interesting times, and not just because of the things that we're in control of as human beings, but in more general viewpoints on climate, the real reasons for climate, how our world is changing and what is taking place right now. It's very interesting to me. Guys, I love sharing these things with you, these thoughts, and obviously let's hope that the wrong person doesn't pick up on that technology I talked about, because it doesn't take much to put that together. And let's hope that artificial intelligence doesn't get wind of it. But I do not have a doubt that it will. There's a link down there, guys, if you want to help support. It'd be nice if more than a couple of people out of 4,000, said, yeah, you know what, Gene does sometimes talk about interesting facts. He has taken, he has took around, what's the word? He has been around for a while. He's not let us down to date. And, the chances are I'm not going to, in the short distance of this time frame at which we're at the moment. So the position of the magnetic North Pole will be there for you guys tomorrow. And, you take care of yourselves. That's what I usually do. As always, bye for now.